What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little bit since my last upload, but I've been busy working on this. As some of you may have seen on my Instagram, I posted about this golf cart. My stepson had wrecked it and bent the frame. So I've been busy at work replacing the frame on this, replacing the A-arm, and getting everything back in order and connected. So today I'm going to be showing you how to do a front end alignment on an EZ-GO RXV. Let's get to it. All right, before we get started, I'm going to show you the tools you're going to need. You're going to need a 17mm socket, 17mm wrench, a tape measure, blue painter's tape, a Sharpie, and probably some needle nose pliers. All right, in most cases, you're not going to be doing a new install. You're going to be checking the alignment that's already there and maybe making some adjustments. For me, this was a new install because I had to tear everything off the frame. So putting it back on, one thing I want to note is when you put it back on, when you put the steering box on, you want to make sure when you first set the tie rods that the tie rods, you have an equal amount of threads on both sides. All right, so what I like to do is I like to loosen this nut all the way on the tie rod for the initial setting. I like to turn it all the way back till it can't turn anymore. And then I pull the tie rod out. And then what I like to do is turn it all the way in until it stops. And I count out from the number of turns from there. So for me, what I found got me pretty close was 16.5 turns. So we got 1, 16.5 turns. All right, so I'm going to secure that, and I did the same thing to the other side as well. So that's a good starting place. So what that does is allow me to make sure everything is centered and have equal adjustability on both sides. So let's get started on the alignment. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take my painter's tape, rip off a nice long piece. And I'm going to put this piece of tape right in the middle of the tire, as close to the middle as I can get it. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to do the same thing on the backs of the tires. All right, so what I'm going to do here is take my tape measure and I'm going to measure the height of the tire, so it looks like 22 3/4. So I'm gonna make a mark on this front piece of tape at 11 3/8, which would be halfway. All right, and I'm gonna measure the width. Looks like 9 1/4. All right, so I'm going to have another mark going the other way at halfway, 4 5/8. All right, I'm going to do the same for the back of this tire. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. All right, now that I have my marks done, I'm gonna go ahead and measure from point to point. All right, I got 41 1/4 in the front, and I'll measure the back. .42 1/2. So I have a lot of toe in on this. The ideal amount of toe in is about 1/8 of an inch. Seems to work well for these. So we're gonna go ahead and adjust. All right, now because I was so far out of spec for this, I'm actually gonna turn this 3 full turns on each side. So to take this apart, normally you have a cotter pin down here, which is what you'll need the pliers for. Once you get that cotter pin out, you'll have to use the 17mm socket to loosen the nut on the bottom of the tie rod. And then you'll also have to use the 17mm wrench to loosen the nut that secures the tie rod. So once all those are loose, you're gonna take this out. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 full turns. Snug that up. And I'm going to snug the nut on the bottom as well. And then go to the other side and do the same thing. Now, one other thing I will note is while you have the tie rods off, now is the perfect time to grease those tie rods. So you could pick one of these up. This is a needle fitting for a greaser. So you can either puncture the rubber boots for the tie rods, or I like to go in from the bottom and just go up underneath the boot and fill it with grease before putting them back on. All right, hey guys, sorry I had to step away for the rest of yesterday, but I'm back to finish this up. So once you get the tie rods set, the distances set, and you remeasure, so I've already gone ahead and done that. I remeasured, it's 1/8 of an inch toe in. So the front of this golf cart measured out at 41 7/8, and the back was 42 even. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten everything up here. I'm gonna show you how to do that. And then what I'm gonna do is back this thing up, pull it back forward, place new marks on the tape, and remeasure. Because with the wheels rolling, it actually can change the angle of the tires. So I just like to double check everything after I'm done. So let me show you how to tighten everything up. All right, so to tighten everything up, we're gonna start with the nut here. I'm gonna snug it up against the tie rod. I'm gonna take my 17mm wrench, just hand tighten it. And then we'll go ahead and tighten down the nut on the bottom of the tie rod. All right, I'm gonna take my 17mm socket. I'm gonna snug it down, hand tight. And there's a hole on the bolt. So you wanna make sure you're not blocking the hole that goes through the threads because we're gonna put a cotter pin in there. So looks like I gotta go just another little bit. All right, and that should be good. So now I'm gonna slide the cotter pin in. I'm gonna bend it out on the other side, wrap it around. All right, and I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. All right, 17 millimeter nut. Tighten this down. Cotter pin. All right, and that's it. All right, guys, now like I said, I'm gonna back this thing up, pull it back forward, reset the tape, and check the measurements once again. That's just to confirm that the measurements were what I read them to be this time. So if you guys like this content, please like and subscribe, really helps me out, and hope to see you next time.